Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever in the world you may be. Welcome to tonight's final session of the normal season of the N League. I'm Wes, and alongside me today is Steve. Steve, how are you?
I am doing great, thanks.
We have the Rinshan Kaibros, the Destroyers, the Mahjong Triad, and the Opie Dopes out with us today. Not a lot of motion for most of the teams. The Opie Dopes do have a very outside chance at making it into our final table, but we shall see about that. Do you have any opening thoughts before we get started here? Or
No, not too much. I did review the scores before coming in. It looks like the Opie Dopes need to pick up around 130 points, roughly, to get into fourth, which should be their primary goal. Beyond that, I think it's just everyone's trying to avoid a disaster, and the Kaibros, unfortunately, have a insurmountable mountain to climb if they were to make it need several Yakuman.
yeah, my thoughts exactly. But it looks like our players are pretty much ready to go. And our starting dealer is Amy with the Destroyers today. And looking at opening hands so far, Amy has a
Amy's
lot of
got a good
honors.
pair of Hatsu, but that's about it. I immediately saw two Akka and Christian's hand when he flipped it up, so and great shapes.
Moving over to her right, Dave has a pair of the East Wind and a bunch of pairs in the Sozu. Our West Wind Christian does, as you mentioned, have a pair of Akka. And Vinnie has some very good looking shapes in the Manzu and Pinzu, but not much else beyond that. Looks like Amy picked up a second East Wind, which is going to be really awkward for her and Dave, unless one of them wants to go cheat toy.
Amy's only going to need to pawn a couple of those pairs, and thankfully the rest are not mochi mochi. So she just picked up another Chun, which is making this into potentially a very big hand.
Christian's hand looks very threatening, though. Is that Rianchan 10 for Christian or
It's
Ishan 10?
Ishan 10, but it will most likely be a Shabo. See, Dave calls
And Dave
pawn, and
opening
that's
up.
probably going to be a Honitsu attempt here, just keeping the 8-9, probably because it looks safer than the middle tiles.
What do you think, Dave and his teammates, what do you think their plan was for today? Just go at it, win as many hands as possible, and see what happens?
Yeah,
Or
con chance here. He's going to hold it. I think they're just going to go for some. I mean, you want to go for value when it's not your dealership, and then when it is your dealership, you can afford to win cheaper. You just want to keep winning. We see Christian take a pawn here. That'll be 10 pi on 2-5 pin.
Amy drawing the third red dragon. Very nice for her.
Wonder when we'll see this con, if we see it at all. Amy is now. Is that Ishan 10? Yes, that's Ishan 10. Vinny's still holding on to that Hatsu, too, and Amy would really love that.
Yeah, Amy would really love that, and Vinny would really love to get rid of it. So.
Yes, Vinny is also Ishan
Oh,
10,
and
but we
there's
got
a
a
sumo
sumo.
from Christian. I
It's going to
believe
be
that's
Tanya Dora 2 for 1326, should be with the. No, it's going to be 1K, 2K. Sorry, misscored that a little low.
moves us right along to East 2. Dave is our new dealer, and Dora is 7 pin.
And Amy's probably sad to see that chance go, but at the same time, it's like, okay, my dealerships have gone with minimal interference, right? So we
Yeah,
think the mainly the Triad and Destroyers here are just trying to avoid any huge mishaps.
exactly. Yeah, looking at opening hands, noticed that Vinnie has 3 of the red dragon already in hand, so that is a very good start. Um, and has a red 5 pin, just another 5 pin to pair it up with, and a Dora in hand.
All right, Dora's 7 pins. That's going to be pretty nice. Christian's got a pair of the South, which is his seat, which Vinny's holding 1, but I don't know how long Vinny will hold it. If it becomes a Honitsu pivot, it might stick around a while. Moving along, Amy has outs to like a Junchan or Sanchoku here, but you have to get rid of that pair of 5s, which feels bad. And Dave has got some reasonable shapes too, so everyone's got a shot here. And I don't think anyone's particularly faster than other. Vinny just made an Anko of the one pin as well, so it's moving nicely.
And Christian just passed up a call on the south wind, so maybe waiting to see draws into it, or just waiting later to open hands, maybe.
In their score situation, he could just call and try to go fast and cheat and just shut down the table, but also some defense is not necessarily wrong either, just being a little more cautious.
I mean, also maybe the higher 2 teams might see this as practice for like the final table, you know? Just try and keep everything tight and make sure everything stays tight for when they get there.
Christian picks up a 2-so there and makes his 5th block, so that's good to go. Vinny, on the other hand, had too many blocks and chose to not keep the Sozu, which makes sense because he already threw a 1-so earlier.
Then you opting to cut the Manzu block instead of
Now, Vinny upgraded the
potentially.
Sozu to a Beyond Men, and the Pinzu would be
Exactly.
cutting a Dora, so that makes that tracks.
Exactly.
Dave picking up a pretty good fill there. Dave is now still 2 Shanten, but could see a 3-4-5 Sanshoku. Amy's still trying for the 1-2-3 Sanshoku, so we've got a few Sanshokus around the table here, and Amy's kind of really committing to it now with the could go Chi Toy as well, but the one so is dead, nearly dead. I take that back; it's completely dead. So she's clearly still got her eyes on Sanchoku as well. Now Christian's opting to get rid of the South pair altogether rather than waiting for it and waiting for a Tanya now.
Vinny trying the 4 pin puts him Rinshan 10, I believe.
Vinny will be Ishan 10 with a few different draws there, but he might pivot to a Honitsu if he draws any more Pinzu. Christian just picked up an additional Dora. That's an awkward draw because that's still not 10 pi, but if you were to keep it, you could have some chances to get like San Anko, Su Anko. I might even throw the 4-so here out of greed if you wanted a ton of points, and that's kind of where they are in the standings. He opts for the 9 there, which is fine as well.
And seeing 1 8 pin already on the table, it seems like kind of keeps both options open.
Yeah, that's
Draws an 8
backfired
pin
there. So
anyway.
anytime I've got a Ryankon shape where the door is in the center, I will not be cutting either of them because it just increases your odds of being able to use that Dora by so much. Dave got an upgrade there. I don't think anyone's 10 pi yet. Amy is now Ishanten for the Chi Toy. See, Amy Karagiri's the 2-pin out of hand there. Christian finally making a move. Has Dora 2. This will be 10 pi now and 3-6 so.
Vinnie contemplating this 5-pin.
Vinny's 10 pi, but if he takes it, he's going to have to read. It's going to be free 10 because of the 9 earlier. He does have Son Uncle. He could just Dama and see if he gets a Su Uncle upgrade.
A lot of people consider Vinnie to be a lucky girl, so, you know, I think there are options for that happening, or chances, I'd rather say.
If he cheese that and he drops the 6 to 3, he's going to deal in. Because he could chi and pivot to Honitsu, but he'll deal into the Tanya if that happens. I don't think you can really open this anymore. I mean, if he draws a 3 so, he's got Su Uncle Tanki, which is just crazy.
There's only one 3-so left?
Because one is all you need at this point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to count, just because
I don't know. I think the one has been thrown yet. Amy is now 10 pi for the Chi Toy. I'm sure she'll take it. I don't know if she'll reach Chi. She will reach Chi, 1 pin.
Yeah, Amy is the type of person to always retreat, not go dumb.
That's 10 pi as well. That'll be 3 so for the Pinfu.
And Dave deals in to
Christian. Does take it and deals in. It's another Tiny Dora too. That seems to be the hand of the day. That's 3,900. So now I've got East 3. Christian's the dealer. Dora is the 5 pin.
Looking at Christian's opening hand, there is a completed 7-8-9 Mon shape with 6-7 Mon as leftovers, and almost completed shapes in the Sozu. Vinnie's opening hand has a lot of unconnected honor tiles, but he can spell news and discards, so there's that. Amy's opening hand also looks fairly slow, unconnected, just uncompleted shapes in the Pinzu and Sozu. And Dave's hand looks even more disconnected.
Dave is a Honitsu. Like, there's only one way to play this hand. It's a Bahatsu Honitsu with maybe more. And it's in the Dora suit, so there are no Dora in hand, but if you draw it, you're just pleased.
Vinnie electing not to spell news and discards. That seems very unlucky. At least my opinion.
The double Dora. Now we're going to see some action. I'm sure Dave is going to go with this with everything he's got, because even though it's a little slow, but the value's all there.
And heaven knows the Opie Dopes needed as much value as they can possibly get.
You can keep tone if you want to greed the value over the south, yeah, because that's still Yakuhai. Dave is in the north seat currently.
Fortunately for Dave, though, some of the other honors are mixed up in other people's hands. Like Vinnie has the fair white dragon, and Amy just dropped the red dragon. So also Vinnie has the east wind.
Not really a ton of progress from anybody. Amy's made the most progress, I think, with her hand. Christian's hand started out well, but it really hasn't progressed.
Yeah. Gabe not liking to call that
A great draw for Vinnie. That just connects everything together. The remaining shapes are still kind of slow, but at least that makes one good 2-block kind of Sun Menchan shape. And meanwhile, Dave is like, please let me draw one more Pinzu. This has not happened.
thinking about calling here, and
We're gonna
does.
see the open here, the chi that still pulling the last 9 if it comes out and move forward as well. You really wanted to see the Hatsu, but with the double Dora, unless you pick up one more Han somewhere, you're not gonna get to Hanuman.
Well, he elected not to call the first Hatsu that came out, which was kind of interesting.
So did one come out? I didn't notice.
Yeah, it came out of Christian's hand.
Oh, I see now. Yeah, I would have snapped on that, but there's still another one, and all likelihood it'll come out unless it comes into somebody's hand very late in the round, and they can only once cut, and they decide not to. But the sooner it comes along, the more likely it will be to come out. Oh, there's a nice draw.
Very nice. Dropping the basically dead white dragon. I mean,
Yeah, it was complete. Much dead at that point. Amy Tenpai, it's Richie Nomi, Richie Dora, actually, with a 7-7-4-7, so. Or 4-7 pin, rather, wrong suit. And Dave's kind of like, I don't want to stop, but he doesn't need to stop, really. He can take all those tiles that Amy's waiting on into the hand, but it's a matter of, like, when you get down to the end, what do you cut? You can cut the Hatsus. Try to move forward in that manner. Or the Chuns, I guess, are safer, because Amy's actually discarded one of them.
Christian has a possible round Peiko chance. I'm not sure if discarded all the 3 solos. No, there's one more 3 so left. It is quite rare, Tanyo round Peiko.
Just choosing to push a little bit, but that one on his Suji, so worth the risk to go for the Rion Peiko. Dave just drawing more Gamboots, at least it doesn't have to stop. Yeah, the 8 pin is too scary. Christian decides, so now it's just a Chi toy. Vinnie makes a call. Still Ishan 10, but making a push to get K10 at the end here. Oh, Dave drew a 3rd Chun, so.
Got the safe tile. Might as well, right?
That's definitely the safest option. He gave me Sumo, a 4-pin Sumo, so Richie Sumo Dora. and 1 Ura. That will be a Mongon for no repeat, so 2k, 4k.
Speaking of repeats, our audience should remember that we have Big Humba on, so if that ever happens, you know what to look out for.
Mm-hmm. It's not 300 points, an extra 1,500 points. All right, we got East 4 now, and the Dora is West. Vinny's the dealer. I see he has 1 at least, still sitting there on the table. There it goes. Vinny has 1. Christian has 1. Amy may have 1. I can't tell. No. So quickly going around with starting hands. Vinny's got 4 pairs already, so that Dora might be hanging around for a while for the Miracle Chi Toy.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Amy's got some pretty good shapes, looking very Pinpu-like. We're really loving 8, so. We see Dave with the Hatsu pair and the Akadora, but it's we're trying to make some big waves. This is not really the hand to do it unless you keep it closed and reachy. So I'm weird now. Maybe Vinny is going to hard commit for a Chi Toy here. I was like, I would just go Chi Toy with this hand and never drop that Dora unless it dies.
Yeah, I would have liked to keep the form on a little bit longer, just to maybe disguise it as something else for a little bit, but I also like committing to the Chi Toy. I mean, you do get to disguise it right here with, like, possible, Sozu flush. But give your opponents a little bit more to chew on,
Well, Christian ended up pairing up the West in the meantime, and he's not West seat either, so he's going to have to find a way to use it. Vinny made an Anko, so we may see something different now. I think Dave moves kind of sideways a bit with that 8, and just more tile acceptance for the hand. Right now, Vinny is Ishan 10 for that Chi Toy, but keeping an Anko for additional options. Oh, he's going to pawn. Okay. Not going to drop the Dora until the bitter end. I think as dealer, this is completely fine.
Yeah, just keep the dealership, keep yourself potentially still in this. But
Christian is Tenpai, and there goes one 4-pin. That's a Reachadora 2, because he's got the pair of the Dora, so Vinny gets Tenpai, he'll have to bravely toss the Dora into the middle, which is fine in this case.
it is, though, quite scary, as you're implying.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Rinshan Kaibros can afford to be scared at this point.
Yep, and there it goes. No fear. The 3 is kind of just a weird tile too, but sure we'll see Vinny take Tenpai on any tile that comes out that will get him there. He's looking for Sanzo or the 8-9 Mon, which see Dave has 1, but that is yet unless they're in the discard and I've missed them.
I believe I don't spot any, besides the one you mentioned. Oh, Amy has 1, the other so's 3 so.
The 3 so, yeah.
Yeah.
The 3 so's are gone, so looking for 8-9 here. Dave is now the Ishan 10 again. Now that will deal in, so we'll see what Vinny chooses here.
Safely gets rid of the 9-mon.
Can still keep his deal with some other shifting around. Now that is still not 10 pies. The hand has no head. It looks like it should be, but it's not quite there.
That is kind of brave pushing that 5-pin out there, but I guess it is half Suchi with what Amy's discarded.
I think if you're in the Opie Dopes position, they just know they probably need to win both games here. Now, I can't tell what that tile is, so it's okay. It's a 5. That is still. Oh, that is now 10 pie. You cut the 6, so you're 4-7. So, and there it is. Okay.
Dale Exterici. Oh, but Christian Simos.
Let's reach Sumo Dora 2. It's another Mongon.
Richisumo Dora 2 1.
No, the error indicator is the tune.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the 1 pin.
The 1 is
tile.
like
It's kind of a weird position. Not in the best orientation for the camera, but there's only one way that can go. Oh, they're going to let her have it. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to see what our nameless judge says, but presumably Amy gets to keep the tile because Dave has not discarded yet. Presumably. But we will see what the call on the floor is.
You all have come up with whatever your own rule is at this point, so. Okay, no, I guess Amy is going to be show high and have a dead hand. Which is unfortunate because that 8 pin goes right in and it makes for a very good start, but also if you're Amy in this case, I think Amy is in second place. She can just close up shop and pass along her south deal and just try to finish the game not in fourth, and it'll be completely fine for the destroyers.
Yeah, the destroyers are 143 points above 0, so pretty decent for them. Not bad.
And that's making it sound like there's not more game left. There's still 3 hands as well, so you're losing the deal is crappy, but
could be worse.
Yeah, because that hand is so good. She'd be 10 pie right now. Just a shame. Because we got to see from the camera angle that the first draw was an 8, so she would just be 6-9 pin. No baton with a Dora already.
But looking at Christian's hand, that looks like a possible Chitoi hand. Unless it's... Oh, but Dave calls Ricci.
Dave has got a 2-5.
2-5 pin weight.
Yeah, 2-5 pin, pin to Dora 1 right now. I'm a little bit surprised when Amy knew her hand was dead that she didn't hold on to those honors, but as you've got no chance to win the hand, like the South and Hatsu are probably much safer. But now she's got a hand of all middle tiles, and it's a bit kind of annoying to fold. She's going to get more information as the hand goes along, so hopefully that'll help. I'm looking around the table to see if any of the other players are interested in fighting. It seems like Christian is just kind of moving around it.
Yeah, Christian's kind of moving around it, and Vinnie seems to be half fighting.
Well, then he's got 6 blocks. He just needs to figure out what to go get rid of. He wants a chance to 1 pin. That's his best path, I think. There we go.
Yeah.
At least get possibly get a Tanyao that way. Meanwhile, Amy's just picking up more of Dave's tiles and holding on to them.
Vinnie just dropping the Suji 8-mon.
Lamenting the not being able to keep the 5. I don't know, that was some weird.
Yeah, either of those red 5.
That is 10 pi, but he has to cut the 8. Well, I'm assuming he'll cut the 8, not the 5, because it's red, but be going for Dora 1 and a 6-9. So wait, should he choose to go for it?
Does he risk it for Tanya? Nope.
He is going
Just
for
Ricci.
it. So Ricci.
Vinnie could really light things up here if he gets an Ipatsu Sumo. I don't know what that hand motion was, but
I don't know either.
what goes around comes around.
Usually
Maybe?
you would just motion to somebody that to turn their Ricci tile if it got stolen, but that hasn't happened.
Close, but not quite.
And of course, if you're Amy here, you would love for one of them to deal into the others, then she can just get away from this regrettable missed first draw without having to pay anything.
No, Christian is.
There aren't very many 2-5s left in terms of 2-5. That's going to deal in there. So the 2-5 pin was mostly gone, actually. I think we saw 6 or 7 of them in hands. And one is the Ura indicator, so. That'll be Ricci, Aka 1, Ura 1 for 5,200.
Also, remember, we have Open Ricci available. So either of our teams that are very behind could be using that as a possible way to get extra points, if they would choose so.
I've definitely watched some of these, commentated a couple times, watched some of the streams before, and there are definitely players who really favor Open Ricci more than others. I think I see Kevin Open Ricci an awful lot in the past, which was always fun to watch.
I know Vinnie in a lot of the home games that he plays likes Open Ricci, but I'm not sure if he's willing to do that for his team's points. You know, it's different playing for yourself versus playing with a team.
I've got South 2 now. Dora is 4 pin, so around the table. Dave is dealer. He's contemplating, or they're pausing for something. Did he draw? Okay, he drew. I'm watching that every time now. Dave has started with a pair of the non, so he can call and just try to get a Rinshan here. The hand does not look incredibly valuable, but that is a way to keep things going.
Yeah, pair of the South, 6, 7, 8, 9, so shape, and
the three pin at least allows the Dora to come into the hand, which is not bad.
Exactly.
Going around the table, Christian has 2 pairs, 3 pairs, but one's kind of locked up into a shape, and all around the shapes are okay, but it doesn't look very valuable. Amy actually has the completed Ryanmen with the Dora in it. And then Vinnie, that looks like a mess, sadly.
That is exactly how I would put it, a mess. Okay, I was wondering if Vinnie was gonna recontemplate going for 13 Orphans, but
he started with 7. I did count, and I'm like, that's...
Vinnie is the type of person who would go for 13 Orphans. Maybe not for a team, once again, but
Okay, Christian is Ishan 10, but it's going to be only getting a Pinfu on a two-mon draw. We see one in the pond already. We picked up the red 5, drops the 9-mon to shift the shape in that direction, but that's not her only head, so she can use the red.
picking up the 8-mon completes the 6-7-8-mon shape and discards the 3-pin, which cuts him off from potentially having any Dora.
At this point, you kind of just want to win the hand and keep the dealership going, but he's probably wondering where that south is, and we just see one in Vinnie's hand that's been there since the beginning, and then the other one I think is just still in the wall.
And I'm pretty sure Vinny's gonna try and keep that as long as possible.
Yeah, Vinnie's since picked up a tune, but it's still miles from Tenpai. Kind of the block upgrade you were looking for. Now, if he throws away the 1-3-mon, Christian will have a Ishanten for a Pinhu, whatever way you slice it.
Dave regrettably dropping the red 5-pin, but you do what you gotta do, I guess.
You have no Pinzu in the hand at all, so Amy gets Tenpai and takes the 8-so Kanchan. Or Ricci Dora 2. That's a good value Ricci there. The 8-sos, one in Christian's hand, one in Dave's hand, one in the discard pile.
And the last one is in Vinny's hand.
Oh, yes. So they are all held and somebody throws them away. So Amy's not simoing this. Christian's still Yushanten for that Pinfu. Well, Vinny picked up a Dora. I wonder whether he can be tempted into it. No. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why Vinny cut the first tone, then kind of sat there deciding on the 5-mon and just didn't cut the tone again.
Yeah, out of the 3 options, the 9-pin kind of looks the most suspicious, in my
It
opinion.
is Suji to it's not Suji to Amy, never mind. It's looking at the wrong discard pile, so it is kind of unusual, but I didn't deal in, so I'm a bit confused by it, but he lives without paying any points, so it's like almost everyone is out. Christian gets Tenpai. He could decide to push for the Pin Funomi Ricci if he wanted, but he has to cut from the right end of that Yonren-K, otherwise he's going to deal in. That might
There's
stop
the
him
4th
here
south.
too. Yeah, that's the south that's been in the wall. We're wondering where it was from the beginning. At this point, Dave can't even pawn it for 10 pi. Still be Ishan 10 with a pawn, even if it got dropped. Christian is done. Because there's a world where he draws into 10 pi with a 7 mon and says, well, if I'm going to agree and push this, I'm going to push the 8 because I have Sanchoku, and then he gives it to Amy. But that south was too much. So, just Amy 10 pi, so Amy picking up 3,000.
But that does put one Hamba on the table. And
first home of the game in South 3.
We are trucking right along here.
So there, with the one Ricci stick and one Homba, there are 2,500 points in the middle already. Dealer is Christian this hand, and the Dora is a 3-pin.
Glancing at Christian's hand, there are a lot of pairs there. So, possible Shito hand? I think the 1 mon's paired up, the 8 so is paired up, the 7 so is paired up.
And just three. And since the 7 and 8 are paired up, you can make an Ipeko out of that as well. So I would not be committing to Chitoy in the immediate with this. Vinnie had a double Ricci chance for a Chitoy there. But he's also got an Anko. He's like 2 Shanten versus Anko on the deal. So this is kind of exciting here. And Amy started with a south pair, so that's not bad. Can accept Dora. Just trying to get around the table.
Up the 4-pin yet again.
And then Dave has probably I wouldn't say the slowest hand. Like Amy and Dave's hand. And Christian's hand is kind of slowish too, just because the pairs are bogging it down. So, like the closest, that's what I was talking about. That 9 is an excellent draw here, and I would definitely not throw it away. When he picked it up, I was like, no, don't do that. Surely it's 3-pin to greed, right? Keep all the shapes together, but still be greedy.
Yeah, I like
3-pin's the Dora, though, so I can see not dropping it.
I mean, yeah, I guess both options are greedy. Right?
But in Kaibros' score situation, it's like, don't you want to greed for the Suanko?
Well,
that's Ishan 10, and you just need to drop both Doras now and make the table really scared of you.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Amy's like, give me that Dora, and she cheese it. Now she just wants to pawn the south and get out of here. Well, looking around the table, I don't see any 9-pin at all. I don't see any east at all.
There's 1 east in Christian's discard.
Is it? Okay, yes, I see that now. And there's the other side of the... So that filled in really nicely. Sorry, Vinny. There's no regrets here. Just throw it. I know that like 3, 4, 5 is so nice, but it's like you're staring down at a Yakuman chance here, and your team's in last place. You just dream. Big dreams today. Oh, Amy picked up the Anko. I missed that, so she's gonna just take whatever gets her to 10 pi.
Dave picked up a red 5 mon, so hugging right along, but a bit slow.
Oh. It's every Dora. I think Vinny's gonna drop every Dora in the game.
Dave picked up the 7 mon, putting Dave into Ishantan.
Another 4-pin, Jesus.
And on to 1 so.
Nothing's changed, really. Okay, I just don't know what she draws. I can't tell if you see what she's drawing. Okay. Christian's keeping the safe north here. Vinnie is keeping whatever tile is extra. Everyone's looking at Vinnie's discard pile like, you've dropped how many Dora already? What's going on? That is still not 10 pi, but it is wider. Should he want to not keep the safe tile, but wants to keep the safe tile.
I guess Christian is feeling something is up with Vinnie's discards.
I'm back to being able to see and read everybody's hands again. Just good. Something lag on my end or something happened. Well, those tiles are still out there. The 9-pin is still in the wall somewhere. The other east, I believe, is not come out yet.
Yeah, it's still.
And the 5s are all held, so that's not gonna come out.
Amy is also, while we were looking away, picked up the fourth tile.
She's drawn the fourth cell. She should con for Rinshan Kaibros. That's an interesting draw. You can cut there's a number of things you could cut. Cutting the 1 so allows you to open it for a Tan Yao, but you're still getting the 6, which there aren't any available. And then Christians just had this Ryanmen Ishanten for an eternity.
He had a little bit of a think about that 3-mon. Possibly thinking about conning and hitting it off, hitting a second 3-mon off of it, but not to be, unfortunately.
Well, Amy decides to con now, so we got the on-con. Still not 10 pi yet. New Dora is tuned, but I think that's been thrown a number of. Well, there's one in Vinnie's hand.
Yeah, the other 3 are discarded.
Circling back around to draw the Dora again, the original Dora. It's very unfortunate. I completely respect the dream of trying to get the Suanko here. It's just not coming. Okay, that's a 9. Vinnie will take the pawn for Toy Toy. Last East is probably the only tile that's going to ever come out. Nope, he calls the Diamond Con. That's interesting because you give your chance at Sananko on the sumo. Makes his 9-pin the Dora, so now he's got Toy Toy Dora 3. Amy calls pawn. No, Amy's 10 pi. Everybody's 10 pi.
What if Christian drops this in Vinnie cons? Okay.
Alright, Vinnie is all about the con life. Oh, it's not this. I was like, it's an otter tile. Not the right one. The next new Dora is, I can't even tell. Amy's arm's in the way. 3.
Yeah, the 3-mon.
3-mon. This is kind of a wild hand.
Oh no!
And after all that, Amy symbols, but with no additional Dora, so it's just. It's 4-2. It's 4 and 2 for sumo, right? So it's going to be.
I want
32, 36, 32, 36, 40, 42 will make it 2. We'll make it 2 70 fu, and she sumoed it, so that should be 1,200, 2,300 with a homba becomes 17. 28. And they don't know the score, I bet.
Oh, and one repeat. If I'm not sure if you calculated that in.
So I think I have that right. It starts at 20, 32 foo for the con makes it 52. No. Is that 70 foo or is that not? 32. No, it'd be 32, 36, 40, 42. So it comes up to 62 foo. Yeah, we're on up to 70. And 70 foo sumo is 1,200, 2,300, add 500 each. So 1,728. But they don't. I'm thinking they probably don't know the score. It's not a very common score. Yeah, there's the 1,700, but these are all stored upstairs for me. I don't know. I don't. I'm weird and I have no excuse.
As long as we get the scores right on the table, that's the important part.
Yeah, it's precisely the 2 foo for Tsumo that did it because you got, like I said, you got 32. 4 for the pawn is 1 so pawn makes 36. 2 mon anko is 4 more, and that's 40 exactly, and then 2 foo for Tsumo. Then 42 plus your 20 is 62, rounds up to 70. It's a very rare score, and then adding a big homba to it is probably the most cursed thing I've ever seen scoring wise. So, but hey, it's a new day for new things at M League.
Now we're in all last with looking at Vinnie's opening hand. Not as enjoyable as the last one, unfortunately. Vinnie, you're at the draw.
Enjoy your tile. He discarded already, though. Again.
Oh, but Amy hasn't looked at it. Okay, I see what the ruling
I guess that's
is.
the ruling. Then a more stricter rule said if you discard, that's it.
We love to see that sportsmanship here in NOMI League.
If you're used to playing with hand shuffle or even auto tables that do not deal the hands, you will always grab your first tile as the dealer right when you're drawing. In this case, that's just not... The table doesn't work that way. It gives you 13 tiles and the dealer still has to draw the first one. Alright, so South 4, Dora is a 1-so, and going around the table, Vinnie dealer has, I wouldn't say the fastest hand here, but he's got the Akka and some reasonable shapes. Amy has the Chun pair, and I think this point, after that hand, she's in the lead and would just like to pawn the Chun and get out of here. Dave looks like he's trying to build a Menholm, some sort of large hand to try to get out of fourth. And then Christian has almost Chitoy, so I think that's probably what's going to happen here.
Chitoy Dora too, possibly, but just thinking about thinking about maybe Pinfu, yeah.
No, it's definitely that's a hard commit for a Chitoy there. Cutting from the middle of that connected shape. So it's something to think about because if you don't want to have to reach in this position, because the hand is worth, oh, there's the 10 pi. And this is enough to win, so I doubt we'll see a Ricci. Yep.
Yeah.
As for the 4 pins themselves, Vinnie has one, but it's not coming out. Amy has one, but it's not coming out. I presume Dave, trying to make this flush, will not throw it either. Vinnie is now Ishanten. Dave called pawn on the twin, and Christian changed to tune and Ricci.
June might come out of Dave's hand, but kind of looks somewhat stuck in Amy's hand. It is a pair, but she does have a pair of the 9-mon, possibly, to work with.
I still expect that we'll see Vinnie fight all the way to the end here. Vinnie is tenpai on a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so, or on a 6 9. Well, that's tenpai. So if the 5 so cut will be 6 9 so for Ricci Dora. Doesn't go for it. And then Amy dropped the tune. So from in the hand. It'll be Chitoi Dora, Ricci Chitoi Dora 2 for a Mangan.
And that should put Christian in first.
Yep, Christian's going to take first. Amy will take second, and that's kind of the outcome they were all looking for. I'm sure Amy would have liked to win it just for more buffer, but with only 2 Hanchan to play, that almost just seals it up.
Looks like players are just discussing a little bit, but I think we're gonna head to a short break, and we will be right back. Hello and welcome back to this week's session of N League. Um, the Triad won our first Hanshan of the night, but that's all isn't done yet. We have a second Hanshan ready and waiting for you. Steve, any thoughts on the last Hanshan before we get started?
Well, this is going to be it. This is the last Hanshan before the cut to the top four, and unfortunately, the Opie Dopes had a shot. They took a fourth, if I'm not mistaken, in the last game, and that is going to make it very difficult. Might see some real big value plays across the board. So I think we're going to see some very tight and cautious play from Amy and from Christian, and then maybe some crazy moves from Vinnie and Dave. So this should get interesting.
Well, it looks like our players are ready as they are organizing their hands. Dave is our first dealer of the second Hanshan, and it looks like Dave has a completed 2-3 1-2-3 pin shape, but the 1 pins and the 2 pins are also paired up, so possible Ipeco. Christian is sitting in our South Sea right now, has a pair of the ton, but only a 2-3-4 so grouped up. Other than that, not much. And Vinny sitting west has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mon all grouped together, which looks really nice. But not a lot else going on besides
It's like
the pair
9
of
months to
mon.
Dora, so you're still happy to see it.
Exactly.
And my eyes have been on Amy's hand since the beginning because it's by far the best hand, but it has not moved forward yet.
And Amy's hand is the last one, which has 2 Akadora, and those are pretty solidly within shapes right now. So, but speaking of, Dave does pick up the 4th 1 pin. So,
Are we
we'll
going to
see
see
where he
another
goes with that.
70 foo? Are we going to see probably not Khan without a 4 pin, but
I mean, hey, you never know. He could pick it up right now. That was 6 pin. It's close. It's close.
That's kind of the wrong extension to make a Khan, but Amy is just headless Shantan here. The sad draw is the 6 mon because that will make her cut the red 5 for 10 pi. But got a Ricci from Vinny. It's waiting on 1 mon 8 so Shabo. Will just be Ricci Dora 1. Amy is 10 pi, but Dama because you ended up getting on a Tunky weight.
And Vinny sumos. Epot sumo. With 1 Ura.
Yeah, Ricci Patsutsumo Dora Ura for Mangan.
And that is the start. The Rinshan Kaibros.
Amy
really
hasn't even put her hand down because she's probably still looking at it, sad to push it into the middle. I would be too. Now we got East 2, moving right along. Dora is 9 so. And Christian is the dealer.
Christian has a lot of pairs. A pair of the
an Anko there as well.
Yeah. So 2 Ankas? Just one.
Could just
one
be
Anka.
not just one Anko, but it could be just a dash to toy depending on what you get. Going around the table, Vinny's got a lot of Ryanmen pair shapes and just made a 3rd one, so this hand could develop pretty quickly. Has an Akka and good Tanyao chances, which looks great. Amy picked up a Dora. I don't know the rest of her hand. It's kind of slow.
Pair of Dora.
Hatsu pair and Dora pair, though, make it worth fighting for, I think.
Dave's hand seems fairly slow, but has an Akadora in it. Oh, pick some of that
It's a
force
good
though.
draw, yeah. You want to get like maximum value out of this. It can be greedy and try to extend the Sozu shapes into an Itsu, which would pick up the 9 Dora as well.
Is Vinnie thinking about Chidoi with that cut? 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs for Vinnie? Maybe?
Hedging it, but I'm assuming we'll see Vinny go away from it if he gets a 6 mon for sure, or even 5 or 8 pin. So on my end, the camera for Dave is a little blurry. Is he holding a pair of 2 mon or a 2-3 mon?
Dave is holding a 1, 3, a pair of 2 mon, yes.
Pair of 2 mon, okay. It's actually come back into focus. I had a little bit of a lag or something, but I was... I'll make Christian Ishan 10 now. For it'll be just reaching NOMI, but it could accept a Dora. Does Ryanmen, Ishan 10. Amy's still wondering where Hatsu's at, and Dave's hand is still fairly slow at this point. Okay, now that's helpful, because that gives you a chance at Ipeko. And it's more outs to 10 pi. Actually, that doesn't. If you threw the one pin here, you'd have an additional outs to 10 pi with turning the
6s into your
6s
pair.
into an Anko, yeah. Probably wants the 1 pin for safety. It's outside of something in everyone's discard pile, or just in the discard pile itself.
Yeah, like you were alluding to earlier, the top 2 teams definitely have a lot to work with, but don't want to risk it. Don't need to risk
Yeah,
it.
they don't have a lot of incentive to be super bold. And if you're keeping maximum efficiency for this, it's like you're still not getting anything unless you get. Well, now we could see something weird with like. That's never going to become a round Peiko without some really weird draws, but it's possible. But yeah, that hand doesn't really, other than being like Ricci Peiko, it didn't really have a whole lot going for it. Anyway, and the Triad so far in first, they don't need to do anything crazy at all. Like Christian could literally fold at the beginning of every hand and it wouldn't matter. For viewership, it's more exciting that he's playing the hand. So what have we got going around the table again? Vinny, Shan 10. Amy is still 2 Shan 10. Still trying to find Hatsu. Davis 10 pi. That is a 4-7 so? Am I reading that right? Yes. Little bit awkward because the remaining Ryanmen's in the middle. So you're already holding 2 of the tiles.
So while we weren't looking, Amy picked up a 3rd Dora tile. So Amy's hand looking pretty threatening.
Yeah, Amy willing to fight here. I'm assuming we'll see a Ricci, even if she draws 3-6 mon for the Ipeko sort of shape as well. Doesn't need to because of the chooses to get rid of the Hatsus now, so that's just a kind of a there the Hatsu comes out immediately after she drops one of them. She is still Ishan 10 though, and that's not really changed. Unfortunately, I don't really know what the rest of her hand looks like. Okay, now I can see it. Oh, that's why she drew a 3 and extended that shape.
Your energy, Dave. Can't keep that one, unfortunately.
I was wondering whether he was trying to hold it back for the camera, but the camera's not on that side. And Christian is just getting out of here, like. I guess Vinnie still kind of sort of stopped as well. The three mon pretty much locked the hand down. He can still call into Tenpai, but it'll be a hard ask to push some of these tiles. That's Tenpai again. You can take Tenpai a number of ways here. The 7, the 5. The Vinnie's Tenpai on 4 pin 7 mon.
Looks to Dama, not Rishi. Interestingly.
I could have cut a 7 mon there and taken a different weight, but I think he would do free 10.
Oh, and that's.
If he doesn't like the 4-7 Suji, it's a pretty hard sell to drop it. Meanwhile, Amy's called into Tenpai. She has no Yaku, but can still win on the high tay if somebody drops 2-5-8 pin. She's actually free 10, so she'll need to be drawing it. Well, Amy has a chance. As if she similar, she would have put it down already. So I can't tell what the tile is, but it's clearly not high tay Dora 3. Okay, a 6. We see a 6, and that actually.
Might as well keep it, not risk anything.
So Dave picks up 3,000, and we have a Homba and a Ricci stick. In the middle for this hand, so another 2,500 points. Dora looks to be 4 mon. Vinnie has a very Kokushi looking starting hand.
I think that's Vinnie
kind of counting them there.
Yeah.
It's 8 unique, so it's not an 8 plus a pair. Quickly jumping around the table, Amy has a pair of the Dora and 2 other pairs in hand. This could just be an easy Tanyao calling hand, especially if you think Vinnie's going for a Kokushi. All these nice middle tiles will be coming out. Dave has got a number of nice blocks also. Looks very much like a Pinfu, has a Dora in hand as well. And finally, Christian has his hand mostly covered. Okay. That doesn't inspire a whole lot of confidence, but there are shapes there, and there's a red 5. You can make use of it with a Dora. Certainly something to hold on to. I don't know if Amy's realized something is up already with the discards, but she's already pawned the 7.
Yeah, Amy is someone who is very aware of what people are discarding, and probably has a keen sense of what's going on.
If you want Tanya Dora
so.
2 or Tanya Dora 3 when your Kami-chan's going for Kokushi, that's like the best time to get it because they're just going to give you the tiles. And Christian did pick up that last Dora for the Dora Ryanmen.
I mean, Vinnie might just be switching it up here and go for all pawners and terminals.
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of rough now because Dave just pawned the tune, so I don't know if the last tune is still missing in action, but knowing there's only one left, and he hasn't really picked up another unique Kokoshi tile yet. You see, we see him he's acquired a couple more pairs, and he's got the Anko, so
Yeah.
it might be time to pivot. You see, Amy's just still Ishan 10, but she's made another call, so just kind of aggressively taking action with all these tiles coming out. There's another Kokoshi tile, but still it's pretty far away. And there's the tune came out, so now it's dead. So you'll probably see. Yeah, we'll see the immediate pawn and a different plan.
Unlucky for
Amy holding back. Amy's holding back the 3 now. I mean, Amy's holding back a 9 rather. She threw the 3, but kind of understandable that you with 3-mon being right next to the Dora, you don't really want to. Like, there's no world do you want to throw the Dora, so she's just locked it in. Oh, Davis 10 pie on 6-mon. I missed that. And I said 6-mon and then typed 6-so, so it's it's definitely 6-so. So this I got it right in the chat, so it'll appear right in the overlay. That's it. That came out. That'll be Tune Dora 2 for 3,900. It becomes what 54 after the Homba.
And I believe that's exactly what was paid. Now into Amy's dealership, East 4. So looking at our opening hand, has a pair of 9-mon and an 8-mon to go along with it. Almost all of the odd Sozu, and a pair of 6-pin and an 8-9-pin.
A little slow, Amy. Amy got her draw that time. Hand's a little slow, but it has an out to a 6-7-8 Sanshoku, which is fine. And since you really want to see another pair if you go that route anyway, because you pick up the 5, you're going for wanting to keep that Dora. Quickly going around the table, Dave has an outside shot at 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku and some kind of slow shapes. It's still kind of far. Christian started with Dora 3 in hand because the red 5-pin is a double Dora this time. And now Dora 4. It's like, how do you make this win as quick as possible when you have that many Dora? But there's not like an obvious path here. Pinfu maybe, Tanyao. But Tanyao's hard with the 1-pin and the 9-pin both in hand. And finally, Vinnie has 2 completed sequences already, but the rest of the floaters and the Kanchan are not superb. Really want to see some better blocks and just close out the hand.
Well, that helps a little bit, but not completing any shapes.
Yeah, since you already have 2 completed sets here, you count the blocks. Vinny still only has 4 blocks. That's part of the reason it's not instilling a ton of confidence. And the 6-pin is a great floater because it attaches to the Dora, and there's a possible 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku on the table for Vinny as well. But Christian's got a monopoly of the Dora right now.
And Amy has the rest of the 6-pins.
That's interesting. Yeah, I would probably toss the 9-mon of the 4 here, depending on how much I want Sanshoku. But tossing because she just picked up a 3/3, so and that gives her a pair. Christian Ricci's waiting Dora at 9-pin Shavo. It will be Ricci Dora 4. If Dora comes out for some reason, Ricci Dora 5.
And Amy has one of the 9 pins, and Dave has one of the 5 pins. And they both look pretty cemented in the respective hands. So probably has to come out
Dave
of the wall
picked
for
up the
Christian.
Dora. Or Dave has the Dora, rather. There's one Dora left somewhere, as far as I can tell, but...
Well, Amy found it.
And Amy threw that 4 earlier, which made sense at the time, but now this is very awkward. But she's already thrown away the 9 so as well, so the hand is going to be hard to win. Dave called Chi there. Still not 10 pi.
Interesting, Amy electing to cut the 9-mon, getting rid of the 7/8 9-mon shape. But I guess it's
I think
safe.
Amy is just folding at this point.
Yeah.
And 9-mon is again Butza. Christian dropped it on the very first turn, so... Dave calls again. Now Dave is 10 pi and 3/6 pin. But he picks up that 3 pin immediately. Is like, I'm done. So Vinnie has the 6 pin is completely dead between Amy and Vinnie, and the 3 pin Christian has 1, Amy has 1, Vinnie has 1. Trying to figure out if there's 1 or there's 1 in the pond. If there's 1 in the pond, it's completely dead. Oh, no, there it is. So Dave's weight is actually completely dead right now. Christian, on the other hand, still has 1 9 pin.
Dave having a little think about that 7-mon, but elects to throw it back, which allows Vinnie to throw his 7-mon.
And just decides to push his 10 pi,
which allows Amy to throw her 7-mon.
Yeah, Amy just wants out, so
yeah.
And we're still playing Where's That 9 pin, because it's the only tile left in the wall anybody can win on. Must be in the dead wall, because that is it. 2 players 10 pi. Let's see, Dave and Christian pick up 1,500 each, and that will be it for Amy's deal.
We truck on along to South 1 with one Humba.
Back to Dave's deal. So Dora is going to be 5-pin again. Vinnie looks like he's got a very good starting hand, but we'll go around the table, I guess. Dave's still organizing. Well, Vinnie's hand I can see. Not a double reachy chance, but it's very close. That's a Dora. All right, yeah, Dave's got a pair of Hatsu, another pair to back it up. No Dora. His hand just strikes me as if you want to keep your dealership, you just try to win it quickly. Christian has
really fast.
possibles 5, 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku pretty much in hand already. Not bad. And Vinnie is
kind of waffling around a little bit with the shapes.
Shantan still. And kind of moving around, like he doesn't. The South is an okay pair here, but it's you're gonna have the choice coming up soon of whether to keep the Rhiannon or keep the Dora, unless something fills in very nicely. Oh, we're gonna see like 3, 4, 5 Sanshogu just force it. That's possible. That sounds like something I would do. Oh, we might. It's kind of ridiculous, but
And then Amy has a possible 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku, so which is Ishanten? Yeah, Ishanten for Amy.
who is Ishanten?
Amy
Amy?
for 7, 8,
Amy
9
is
Sanshoku.
Ishanten, yes. Christian looks like is Ishanten. No, there's no head. Oh yeah, Vinny drew that red 5 back and was like, yes, I will go for Sancho Dora 4. Basically is what this has turned into. Oh my god.
Well,
not anymore, so now it's too many Dora. Dora 5 now in hand? At this point you just want to palm the south and go.
Amy draws a 7, so here she has a wider Ishanten that isn't Sanshoku.
Okay, Amy deciding on the 4. That's a kind of like an Ipeko / Sanshoku trade-off, but the Sanshoku is going to be worth more, so she just tosses it back. That is still Ishan. No, Christian is Ishanten.
And there's the third red dragon for Dave.
It's an upgrade, but it's a free 10 shape, so still gonna hold on to it for now and fix the head, which makes sense. If he fills that 2/5 Rion Men, he's already dropped a 1 so that 1/4/7 will be free 10 if he chooses it. No, Vinny giving up on the red 5 Mon now. I think I'm too greedy to give up on that. Vinny calling G. Did he call that with a 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. That's because he's going to go Otozuke for the non.
Which is
That's about all that's left at this point.
very likely to come out of Dave's hand as he picks up the third green dragon for himself.
There's only one white dragon in the pond, so all the rest are in the wall.
Oh yeah,
This
I
could
wasn't even
become
thinking about that.
This could become very interesting. There's only one white dragon in the pond, and all the rest are live. Amy drew the Dora, so a bit of contemplation there. There's the non. We'll see Vinnie pawn. No, that should make Vinnie 10 pi, but 5-5, I believe.
Oh, there's one of the white dragons for Dave.
Here we go.
This could be very, very interesting, as you said.
If he draws the other one, it's Daisang and Tenpai, just he needs a little less Haku to get it. He could also pawn. Okay, so Christian Ricci, can you tell me the weight? It's too blurry. I can't tell if it's that screen is lagging.
The 2-5 pin. If you're
Actually,
Dave,
it's my connection. The whole thing is laggy. I'm waiting for it to clear up. It'll do it on its own.
if you're Dave and you draw the second Haku, do you Rishi? Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
Vinnie Sumo. So it will be non Dora 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3K, 6K, and a home buzz 35.65. No, I don't think you can reach E if you're Dave on that one. I would no way. Vinny did drop a Haku on the previous turn, but I couldn't see that in the blur.
On to South 2 with Christian as our dealer. Looking at Christian's opening hand seems very weak. Only one completed shape with the 4 double 5 and 6 pin. Other than that, some loose shapes. Moving on to Vinny's opening
For
hand.
this time, 5 pin is not actually the Dora again. So
Oh yes,
I think it was at least 2 hands in a row.
Yeah, at least 2. Yeah. Vinny's opening hand has the 7-8 double 9 pin, but other than that, some not completed shapes. Although looks somewhat reasonable. Amy's hand could be a potential contender for fastest hand, as a 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 so all lined up together, and some very reasonable shapes otherwise. The
code for a Cheetoy if you really wanted. Not with another Anko, though. Now we're full speed ahead. Try for another Yakuman. We want to see some excitement today.
There have been a lot of Yakuman chances today. Although I'm pretty sure Dave would be all right with a Toy Dora 2 hand. The T, maybe not so much, but
Yeah, well, I mean, with his dealership past, I think he would probably need to win multiple Yakuman in a row at this point to accomplish the goal. So it's going to be Toy Tanya Dora 3 at a minimum. Actually, that's Tenpai for Tanya Dora 3 already, so we maybe not even shift to Toy. Just waiting 6.
there's Tempai for Dave.
Now we'll see it. Yep. Now we'll see the Toy Tenpai.
Amy's holding one of the 7 so's that Dave wants, and Christian and Vinnie are holding the other 2 4 pins that Dave wants.
There's actually no 7 so left either because the 7 so is in the Christian's chi.
Oh.
So it's a completely dead Toy, unfortunately. Unless somebody drops one.
Yeah, the 7 so looks pretty cemented in Amy's hand.
I'm going to let you do a lot of the commentary right now because I'm experiencing such video difficulty that I'm probably seeing what's in hands. So take it away.
Yeah, Amy still has that very wide Sozu shape of 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 so putting on a 4 so isn't Tempai putting 4 so. And I believe Christian is 2 5 mon or 5 3 6 mon. Yeah, 3 6 mon. The Christian could change up the weight here. No, declines too. Throws back the 5 mon. And he having the straggling 6 mon in hand, which could potentially deal in. Amy electing to cut the 9 so just keeping things safer for her and her team. Although 3 of the 4 so's are in Dave's hand right now. And the last tile, only Vinnie is not in Tenpai.
Vinny's in the lead, so he can afford that, but it's if the Kaibros are just wanting the moral victory of winning the last game, then they're that's fine. And I'm happy to tell you that my video is working again. I had some YouTube decide to start using bandwidth in another video. in another tab, so I closed that and everything recovered.
Well, it's good to have you back.
All right, so it's South 3 now, I think?
Or
is this all last?
This is still South 2.
This is still South 2. Okay, it's still South 2. Oh, wait, we have a wrench on. I see the light on the table. Dora is...
the 4-mon.
4-mon, okay.
And almost right out of the gate, Dave does call the Red Dragon.
I'm just going to go around from the draw. Christian picks this up. Blocks aren't great in that hand. It's kind of slow, so it does have a Dora, so there's something worth pushing for if the hand develops at the very least. Vinnie has better shapes. That pretty much looks like a pinfu if you can fill that Kanchan. Amy is also holding a Dora. It's a bit more connected than the other. But then nice shapes there, just a matter of filling them in. And Dave is already opened, as you mentioned, and now the Dora is actually usable. So we're looking at Dora 1. And Dave is conned in the meantime as well, and I cannot tell, are those Dora indicators the same or different?
I'm pretty sure those are the same.
Okay, I can't tell if it's like 3 twice or not, so. Even on a clear screen with the perspective, 3 and 2 are hard to tell apart.
Yeah.
But assuming those are both 3s, well then Dave's got the Foo and the Dora 2 in hand, and looking to close in on that.
But also, looking at the way everyone's hands are shaped up, they all want the 3-mon. And with 2 3-mon being the Dora indicator, it might be kind of hard for them to use the Dora.
Yeah. The question is, who's going to be the lucky one who gets it first? Vinnie is the only one who doesn't need the 3-mon, and he can just accept the 4-mon Dora.
Oh, but Amy draws the 3-mon here and having a think about what to discard. Likes to cut the ones, though.
Getting rid of the Penchan, yep. It's basically a 6-block hand, so it's perfectly reasonable to get rid of the weakest block there. So Amy found one of the coveted 3-mons. Where's the other one? It's like that 7. 7's like a block upgrade, shape upgrade, but you don't even want it because throwing away the 4-mon now just feels so bad. Like Amy's.
Amy drew a 3rd 8-mon.
Still not Ishanten, but if she gets a 6-mon, this could be a very, very wide weight. I missed that Dave got Tenpai completely.
I think he just drew into Tenpai. But that is...
There's a 6-9, so wait.
Chundura 2.
Dora 2 for it would be 52 with Homebog makes 67. I don't know why that 3 was offside. I think it was still sitting on top of his hand when he roamed.
this does put the top two teams at the bottom of this table right now, and the bottom two teams at the top of this table right now.
Well, I don't think there's going to be a big enough shakeup to change any major placements, but it's a morale boost for the teams nonetheless. This is cell 3 now. Vinnie's dealer and 6 pin is the Dora. Vinnie starts with some okay shapes. Dora acceptance. Nothing really exciting, but it's okay.
Amy has a lot of pairs.
Amy has an Anko, 2 pairs of Rian Men, and multiple Dora. Dave has a completed sequence already, 2 pairs, and it's kind of trying where's the next block, but it's not going to be valuable as it currently stands. And Christian has the 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku chance, which is pretty much staring him right in the face. So, and he has a Dora, so that's probably the Amy and Christian are the most valuable hands, even though Vinnie's could potentially be fairly quick. That's a Ancon in hand for Amy of the 9 pin. We'll see what she does with it. Tune pair is kind of awkward. It's like you have a goal in mind. You want Sanchoku. You have a pair already. Like then you're stuck throwing the 7 pin away and not keeping 2 pairs because of the Dora. So everything's conflicting.
I kind of like getting rid of the 1 pin there personally, but
yeah, that would be okay. I mean, in any case, you probably don't want the 7 pin regardless because of the Dora. It's just a lot of slow blocks for good value if it comes together, but it's got to come together. Vinnie paired another 8 mon, which isn't really helpful. I mean, the time for Chitoy has passed since he already threw away from a pair.
Well, there's the 9 set for Vinnie completing one of his shapes.
Amy picks up a... So Amy now has this weird 4-block thing where she's got 3 Ryeonmen pairs and an Ancon. It looks like it should be a lot better than it is, but it is still very far. It's almost like this is one of those times where you would want a con from not Ishan 10 or just throw the 9 away to have more options, but her draws just haven't really given her additional options. I see Christian take the pawn here. Just going for calling and getting rid of this hand. Could see a pivot to Honitsu if the right draws come in the right order as well. And we did see Amy pick up a 3 pin and then decide to cut from the Ancon. So sadly, no 70 Fu shenanigans for this hand.
Continuing to cut away that 1-2 so shape.
Interesting draw. Vinnie being dealer, it's almost like how do you play this, but not greeting the Apeco and cutting the from around the 7 is going to be the most efficient play.
I like cutting the other way, cutting the 6 mon, because you've already discarded 2 9 mons. And there are 2 other 9 mons out on the table.
Meanwhile, Dave is Tenpai, but no Yaku on the 6-mon. So hopefully Vinnie can offload that 6-mon before Dave decides to just reach you the Nomi. Probably won't if he hasn't reached it already. Now, Christian is Tenpai now on 6-pin Tonki, Dora Tonki.
Senpai for Dave on the 5-mon Green Dragon. There's Senpai for Vinnie, reaching on the
Got exciting in a hurry. 3-6 pin is not great though. Amy's holding 3, Christian is holding 2. Oh, Dave gets the Ipatsusumo on the 5-mon. Sadly, not the red one because that's in Christian's hand. It's going to be Richi Ipatsusumo. That will be it. 4 fu, 2 for Futsumo, 2 for the pair, which will make it 40. So it should be Richi Ipatsusumo should be 700 1300. No. 2613. I underscored that by 1 Han completely. Looks like the players got the scores right though, so no big deal.
But now we're on all last. It's Vinnie in the lead, barely, and Dave in second. Amy's our final dealer for the night. And looking at her opening hand, she has 1 Akadora and 1 actual Dora, a pair of the red dragons, and a pair of the 1-pin, which not a bad hand to start with so far.
Not at all. I already see that Dave and Vinny are sadly mochi on the white dragon, so I'll probably slow both of them down and buy Amy some time to do something with the hand. If Christian's got a very large Manzu block, and then really only other block is that Pinzu Kanchan, so this could become has the potential to be played for a flush of some sort. Not if you fill it in like that, though. It's one of those things where Christian is in 4th, but one of those things where you can also just end the game and your team is still leading by a bunch.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder if Amy does want to just fold from where she is right now and make sure nothing weird happens with any repeats.
I think even if somebody's similar to Yakuman right now, Amy would just end up with around 0 points for the game, and she still wouldn't even lose the game unless it was Christian sumoing the Yakuman. So I think it doesn't really matter whether she chooses to play it or not. Because if she wins the hand, it's even nothing's really going to change.
Well, if she wins the hand, we still continue.
Yes, I know. I do know that we will go again, but I mean, even on the next repeat, like nothing crazy is going to be able to happen enough to make a difference. Now, when Dave opened, did he chi or pon? I can't.
I believe that was a chi.
Okay, so he's definitely banking on the Haku, and that's great for Amy to try to win the hand if she wants to play it. Looks like she does too, because she opened. I'm looking at the different screens. For a second, I thought Christian was Tahai, but it was just his turn. Christian's hand has moved around a little bit. He could have basically a Pinfu Nomi here, or an Itsu. A few different options. Amy's now Otozuke able? Yeah. So Amy needs the Chun to win, and those are both in the wall. Meanwhile, Dave and Vinnie are just completely blocking each other. Vinnie does have a chance to make this into a Chanta to win it instead, but he does need to draw a 9-so or an 8-so and shift down. That might be a better option too, the pay pair. No, that's not the way you wanted to
I
go
don't
with it,
want
though.
that cut.
Well, I mean, he does another Mochi Mochi on the Haku either, which is they're both just going to sit here and wonder where they are. So really, if somebody's stopping Amy's continuance, it's going to be Christian, but the draws have not been there for him either. And that's Pinfu, 4-7. The 9 just came out, so I can't see not just throwing it as a matter of do you do Dama to end it. The 9 mon is the Dora, but came out just 2 turns ago. This is going to reach it, okay?
Unfortunately, no open Rishi for the meme. But
Of course, 4-7 mon, 4 mon being Ipeko. Takame Amy draws the 7 immediately. And holds it for now. We'll see. I mean, I don't think Amy has any real reason to push, but technically neither does Christian. But Christian has a reason to push because they have so many points and the game just ends. Amy's no 10 that let's take a chance and jam it, basically.
Vinny chooses wisely and does not discard Haku to Dave.
Well, Dave's not waiting on it yet, which is the thing. Amy's got the 4 and the 7 mon in hand. Lovely. And Amy's just done, so it looks like this is most likely going to be just out to the end. And that'll be the last hand of the game. It would take some spectacular things for Amy to get back into Tenpai and not deal in. Dave is going to go for it. depending on Tone and Haku, but Haku is the only Yaku you got here. Could we see Amy get back into Tenpai? No. I don't think Amy's got enough draws left to do it. Just got the one. Looks like that will be it then.
Yep.
2 players Tenpai. Dave does get the Gekten, though with that Tenpai, I believe. So for this final game, we have Dave in first with 39.8, Vinnie in second with 37.9, Amy with 15.2, and Christian in fourth with 6,100 points remaining. But I think their large coffer of points they've racked up can handle that.
Yep. And unfortunately, that means the Opie Dopes will not be making it into the final round. But fortunately for the Peregrine Falcons, that means they do survive, though they did have quite a buffer. But that's all of the Mahjong we have for you tonight. Do you have any closing thoughts before we log off?
Nothing for me other than that we saw some exciting attempts at Yakuman and some exciting plays and got to see a really fun 270. So that was probably the highlight in my opinion, but otherwise good Mahjong.
Yep. Great Mahjong from the players all around. We'll see you for finals when those come around. We'll talk to y'all later. I'm Wes, and alongside me, this is Steve. That's all for now.
Have a good night.